Hello and welcome to match 4 of the UK Haddo Premiership League 1 games, which took place in December 22 as part of the 2023 season. So this game is between the Boss and Synergy, and as ever follows our 7-game format here through the match, with each game having that different set of criteria placed upon it. If you want to know more about exactly the ins and outs of the league, how all these different things function, really in-depth sort of breakdown on it, we have video on that that's part of this set of videos, so please go check that out, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're here to keep up to date with everything coming out in the future. With that said, let's get game on. So we have the Boss on red, Synergy on blue. And this is game 1, so this is our 3v3 freestyle. Opening shots there for the Boss. So everyone's currently playing right up on the back wall there. Trying to get a feel for each other in terms of accuracy, shot rates and everything else. Get an idea of what everyone's choices are on their stats and how you're going to play against them. Early points on the board for the Boss. Nice play from them. Boss can be a little bit variable in some of the matches. They're always a top flight team. They managed to defeat Synergy in the UK Championships back in October, and in order to take second place there. So they're a tough team. Peak was out. Synergy are really good, and they've been training a fair amount on the lead up to this. So definitely anybody's matchup. But currently, 2-point lead going to the last 20 seconds for the Boss. Possible to bring this back, but Synergy got the work cut out for him to do it. 10 seconds, 3-point lead. It's not looking good for Synergy at this point. But obviously this is only game 1 of 7. 7 points to 3. Boss takes game 1. Really well played. Nice good split there on the point scoring. Very even there across the board for Synergy. So look at these comes through. Plenty of movement with Synergy, but obviously not out of the way of the incoming fire, given that points line. 27.2% accuracy for the Boss. So yeah, 26 and 27 accuracy from their main scorers. Only 22, 24, and 2 there from Champ. So not Synergy's best performance there. Obviously, you expect when teams get better at evasion, movement, dodging, you expect those accuracy rates to start to drop. But that was particularly low, especially from Shemai there. So they're getting prepped up now. They're in that 100-second recovery phase that they get in between games. Just get the breath back, sort of tactics, get prepped for the next game. So moving in, get ready for game 2. And game 2 is our scale 1 game. So spend the points however they like, but they can't put any points into scale. So all the shots are outside of ping pong balls. It's all about accuracy. Tend to see this this game played quite a lot against the back wall, because you can do quite a lot of intelligent dodging here. Again, said on some of the previous matches that the League 1 games, for the Premiership, you tend to see a relatively low amount of movement in these games, low scoring, low movement, because the shots are small enough that they can quite actively and intelligently dodge against them. You tend to see a lot higher movement rates in the in League 2 and down in the Championship. They haven't quite got that in position dodging techniques down there. Pat yet. So a lot of fire. It's exactly what we'd see. So we see high charge rate, high speed, no shields there, because there's just so much charge rate knocking them out. They just get destroyed and you've wasted the points. Really nice evasion and movement from both teams. Shemai's taking the chances there by coming up towards that centre line. First point on the board for Synergy. Said this is a low scoring round, so every point here really matters. It's unlikely you're going to see any big fight backs on this one. 2 points now for Synergy. See, the more they can open that up, really the harder it is. It's so difficult with these small shots to stage any kind of fight back, unlike what we can see in the other rounds, where landing those hits becomes a lot easier. Boss player on the front line there get themselves caught in crossfire. Synergy really moving ahead on this now. 15 seconds to play, 4-0. Synergy's game. It's just a matter of whether the boss can actually land any points before the clock runs out. These last 5 seconds. Are Synergy going to manage to hold this as a clean slate? Yes, they are. 4-0 in game 2. So that is 1 game apiece in this sequence. Excellent play there from Synergy, and it was Pyro racking up the points there for the team. 16% actually, but you're going to see that. You're going to see low accuracy on this stage because those smaller shots, but really, really good fire there from Pyro and getting those points in. Okay, so we're getting ready now for game 3. So game 3 in the sequence is our 2v2 freestyle. So no restrictions on points, but 2 players aside. So we get that variation, tactics and strategy for how you move, how you focus, and how you move around the space. Then see more movement. Yeah, so it depends whether it evolves into effectively 2 1v1s, or whether the teams manage to get that sort of 2-on-1 bounce going. Which the teams that have mastered that sort of tactic can really dominate the games. So we've got the 2 Synergy players getting prepped. Brief from the teammate just on ideas and tactics. Boss players with their coach just taking the field now. So last few seconds of this breakpoint ticking away. Obviously, if a team is not ready when this 100-second break runs out, that's it. The game starts. So the boss players aren't really only just about making it there. The game starts whether you're logged in or not, and if you haven't logged in, tough, your team's down a player. Okay, no shields either side, both gone for firepower builds. First points on the board for the boss. So this is very similar builds to game 1, which obviously the boss won. Let's see if the 2v2 rather than 3v3 setups makes any can claw anything back or bring anything in for Synergy. 2-0 at the moment for the boss. 2-1. Nice shot there from Pyro. 2-2. Brought it back nicely. Coming up on the halfway mark. Of course, obviously, if they do manage to win this, it means it's all down to Shamai obviously having let down in the first round. Clearly. Just hope he doesn't hear this bit of the commentary. Synergy now starting to pull ahead. Just 1 point in it though. It's not a lot, especially not in this game. Back to even, 15 seconds to play. Almost managed to capitalise on that run up on the centre line there for the boss player. It's a risky move at this stage. 5 seconds left. And we're going to overtime. So for overtime, players get 10 seconds to get their breath back. You do not regain any of your life markers. You don't regain any shields. Everything starts basically as it was when the clock ran out. And it's now first knockout on any player. First point scored anywhere takes this. Nice use of shields from both sides there, just to help deal with the initial flurry of shots. Get them moving, see if they can identify a key target. Generally, you'd expect the players to focus fire on a single player. There we go. Took the back line on the boss. So that is Synergy taking game 3 in overtime, 5 points to 4. So it's currently 2 games to 1 in this series in favour of Synergy. Good movement, nice accuracy there actually from the boss, 32%. Again, you don't tend to see much beyond that sort of 30% mark in these higher end games, just because of the evasion, dodge, and movement skills of the players, making them just so much harder to hit. It's one of those things that when you've got evenly matched teams, it doesn't seem that great. But if you points where you get any of these guys playing against some of the lower division teams, it becomes really evident just how hard they are to hit in comparison. Right, moving around now to game 4. Game 4 is our Shields game. So in the Shields game, The players must spend a minimum of 8 points on their shield abilities. So across the team, those stats they get for fire speed, for shot scale, for charging rate, and for shields. The total of shields levels across the 3 players must be 8 or greater. So this round is all about your shield skills. So this is about shielding, counter shielding, shield takedowns, tactical shield positioning, how you move around them, how you use them. Whether you're using with static fire points, whether you're getting into the right locations, right angles, whether you neutralize opponent shields. So there's a huge amount here to show in skill. Shielding is probably one of the most tactically difficult roles within the game. And it's one where a lot of teams still have got a great deal to learn, a great deal to improve. So let's see how they go for this one. So, and the boss have only got 5 points in shields. So that is an automatic match forfeit. Looks like the clock's going to run on this either way. But irrespective of the outcome, this is a win for Synergy, as the boss have only spent 5 points in shields, not the 8 points that the round requires. So it's an automatic loss for the boss. So given that they've actually got an anti-shield build, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. It looks like Synergy might be going to take the game anyway, but as you said, irrespective of the outcome, this is an automatic win for Synergy, as the boss failed to comply with the requirements of this game. Yeah, really nice evasion, shifting on the point there. Good shield work from Synergy. Basically, this is a good practice round for them. And there we go. So Synergy take the game on points, but irrespective, that was an automatic Synergy win because of the failure to comply with the round requirements from the boss. Pyro absolutely steaming ahead there on point score. Really good accuracy as well from him there. Nicely played all round. So 100 seconds recovery and into game 5. So this is our 1v1 freestyle we've got coming up next. So 1v1, lots of movement. It's really, really important about who gets the first score. It can be very difficult to come back if you don't get that first score. Really need to keep your head locked in on the game. So generally we see high shot size, high shot speed, but low charge. Rather than that sort of more mix of abilities. Still nice every now and then when you see someone effectively go rogue and drop a couple of shield points in shield, because it can really mess their opponent up. But let's see where they're going to go today. So Synergy currently moving well ahead in this sequence. It's currently got 3 games to 1. If they take this one, then they win. Then they win the match, and it's just how many more points they can rack up afterwards. Boss have got to win everything from here on out in order to take the match. So still technically doable, but they've got a huge uphill struggle if they want to take this match against Synergy. So here we go. Let's see what options the players have gone with. Have they stuck to the standard meta, or have we got something interesting? No, or both gone identical skill sets: shot speed, scale, and charge rate. Wow, fantastic opening shot there from the boss. Straight one-shot kill, early point on board. So because this one there's so much movement, so much dodging, so much space to go around in, and you've only got to focus on the one opposing player, that tends to be very low scoring. So if whoever manages to get those first points on the board is up with a huge advantage. And that first point score so early on, so a really big psychological one there for the boss. Clipping down the 1 life marker apiece. Obviously the boss still with that 1 point advantage. 30 seconds left. Look at the rate of hits being landed here. Basically, if Boss gets the next point, it's going to be a guaranteed win for them. There's no way Synergy's coming back from that. If Synergy can take a point, if they can do it soon, then maybe. Otherwise, it's just going to go to 1-0. Now, second score there to the Boss. As good as Pyro is, he's not bringing this back in 10 seconds. This is going to be a second game in the series then to the Boss. Got a score at least, which is good. But yeah, 2-1. Well played, well deserved there for the Boss. That opening one-shot kill, just that was the winner. Put Pyro on his back foot, and there's really very little coming back from that. Not with the evasion skills on both sides. Looking at even Pyro there was actually the most accurate of the two players with 12%. Just giving you an idea of just how hard those two players were to actually land hits on. But very, very good play from the Boss player there. That opening shot was a beautiful, beautiful strike. So it is now 3-2 in this match sequence. So the Boss very much back in the fight here. So we have 2 more games to go. So still anyone has the capacity to take this match. So next up, game 6. Game 6 is the Haddo 20. So for this game, the total skill points across all 3 players in the team cannot total more than 20 points. So each player starts off with 1 skill point in each of the 4 categories. So therefore you start with 12 points pre-spent, which means you can only spend across your team a total of 8 more points. Normally as a team you'd have 18 more points to add to your total, but here you can only spend 8. So as a team there must be 10 points unspent at the end of the for when the game starts. So maximum 20 points spent. So we get a lot of we're not question about why limit the players to this one. What it does is it adds a whole level of almost like poker facing to it and everything else, a bit of bluff, because you're trying to work out what stats the other team have gone for, how they split them, who's focused on, who's the threat on the other side, can you identify them correctly, who's just there to dodge and draw your fire, who's there to try and earn points for them. So going for speed there. Very, very low charge rate across the board from all of the Synergy players. Some shields in use there from Boss. Really good tactic, given how that all of Synergy are on charge 1. So those shields have definitely got the opportunity to tilt this match. Currently 2-0 to the Boss. Boss historically have been a very shields-based team. They're very good in their shield tactics. They know how to use them very well, how to position them. 3-0. Yeah, that charge rate 1 that they've gone in for across the board there for Synergy is really, really hurting them here. Just can't get rid of those shields fast enough. 20 seconds on the board, 4-0 to the Boss. But are they going to manage to take a clean sheet on Synergy this time round? 5-0. Yeah, definitely tactically spot on move from the Boss there, taking those shields, and that low charge rate from Synergy just mean they had no way to come back against those shielding tactics. Excellent play from the Boss. Really well read. Yeah, perfect stat set to take against the Synergy build there. So that takes us to 3 games apiece in this series now. So amazing fight back from the Boss. Went from 3-1 down back up to 3-3. It had looked like they were down and out. So moving into the 7th game. So this is therefore also the match game. And 7th game is back to that 3v3 freestyle. We know from the opening game here that the Boss took that in the 3v3 freestyle. Let's see if Synergy have learned anything from these matches on the run-up, whether they can chop and change anything, whether they've got anything new to bring out the bag, any new tactics to bring into play. Because otherwise this could be a Boss win. So a lot of tactical discussion going on there for both teams, really trying to think it through, second guess what the other team are going to go with, look at positionings, look at movement around the court, stat sets. So we know from game 1 they both went for full firepower builds, and that worked for the Boss. They took the game quite comfortably. What we don't know is whether they're both going to go down the same lines again, and whether, obviously having played 6 games already, whether there's going to be a fitness factor that comes in on either team to give them an edge here. But, given where we were after game 4, was not expecting this to come down to a match game on game 7. Here we go. Okay, and it is firepower again from both sides. Difference here is that this time we've got a technician role on Synergy, which we didn't have before. Just 3 fight. It was just three assassins. Basically, we define the firepower roles as assassins. The technician is high charge rate. So charge rate is used for destroying shields, but also for area control to make it dangerous for players to stay in a certain area, to try and force them to clump together, to put them into firing zones for the assassins. It does mean that things like shields get wiped out. Whereas boss has gone for just that straight firepower build, which is perfectly reasonable. It's what's done very proud in this match so far. 5 points apiece though, so this extra charge rate there from Synergy definitely doing the job, forcing the boss players to clump together, and obviously the more you move together, the easier you become to hit, because there's just more targets all in the same zone, so your opponents have just got to fire towards that general zone, and they're going to hit something useful most of the time. 8 points to 6, 2-point lead to Synergy now. 10 seconds left in there, 3-point lead, 4-point lead. This is looking like this is a Synergy game and match. But it ain't over till the clock finishes. 10 points to 7. Synergy take match 7, 10 to 7, and the match series 4 games to 3. So it's an overall Synergy win on this match. Definitely a massive change in the result there between game 1 and game 7 for Synergy, and that shift across to having that technician player, the high charge rate player for control of the field. That was what made the difference there over that first outing. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe while you're here, and follow on the channel for the next video when it releases.